Welcome, sports fans, to another edition of our weekly Pioneer Sports Preview. As always, I start here with Mr. Dan Pavlovsky, and this week we're going to look at the high school girls basketball scene that's going on right now. So Dan, specifically looking at the CSA here, got Morley Stanwood, Chippewa Hills teams that continue on winning there at the top of the conference. Reed City's gotten back in the picture there with some pretty good winning streak recently. And Big Rapids still trying to hang around there. So what are your thoughts on how the girls basketball season's going through so far and how you see it shaking out here as the next few weeks unfold?
You said Reed City, talk about their winning streak. They did go on that little winning streak. They ran into the buzzsaw that is the Morley Stanwood Mohawks girls basketball team. But hey, they played that team, Morley Stanwood, with 2 losses right now. They played Morley Stanwood, the Coyotes did, to overtime, and really played a great game. And Morley Stanwood, the Mohawks, very young. They showed a little bit of that youth in that game. But Reed City, showing that, hey, our record might not be as good as the Chip Hills, the Morley team, but they looked well. They played well. They looked very good. But the Mohawks, Bob Raven always has them finding that way to win. They were able to get it done from a lot of different people. Michaela Thumser hit a few big shots for them. And, also Lindsey Viersma, always puts up big numbers. Kayla Rossman has had a few good games. So the Mohawks, I think, going forward, definitely a team to watch. And then the Warriors, Chippewa Hills, they have one of the best players, I think, in the conference, in Hannah Guy, who's got the height that you want in a girls basketball player, but she can also bring the ball up the court. She can knock down the long ball. Very, very talented. And she also has a great number 2 in Kendall Boone. So the Warriors, another team with just a couple losses. They have a game, coming up. They're going to be another team to watch down the road. And, you can't forget about the Coyotes, Big Rapids, not playing as well right now. But I think definitely the Mohawks and the Warriors going to be fun to watch going down here and see how it shakes out as we move forward.
Definitely, like you said, a lot of tough teams in this conference here. A lot of them facing each other down the stretch. And with all the snow days, we've been having a lot of conference makeups. So going to be having a lot of games packed in a short scheduled amount of time there. So we'll see who is able to endure through it all and come out on top. Alrighty, now Mr. Bob Allen joins me. How you doing, Bob?
Doing well. How are you?
Doing all right. So this week, Ferris hockey's got the week off, but Ferris men's and women's basketball got a tough little stretch coming up here. Thursday night, both teams are heading down to Wayne State to take on the Warriors, and then they come back home Saturday to host Saginaw Valley State, and then Monday they'll hit the road once again for the rivalry game against Grand Valley State. So I guess first off, let's start looking up the men's team, Bob. 7 losses in a row here after ripping off 6 wins before that. Just kind of looking at what the Bulldogs are at right now. Lost their last 3 games by 5 points or less, so the effort's there, but just what do they have to do here to start getting back on track?
I think it's simple and it's one word: execution.
Yeah.
It's when you're losing that close, it's execution. It's one play on either side of the court. Making a defensive stop when you need one, or getting that big bucket when you need one. And that's where they're at. Just they're this close to probably winning each of those 5 games. Now you're on an 11-game winning streak, and we're talking, how good this team is. And right now we're kind of talking, they're an okay team. You win 6, you lose 5. That's a so-so team.
Right. Like you said, yeah, I think obviously, first year, he's been around the program forever, but Andy Brockma, first year here as the head man. People are still trying to adjust a little bit, new faces everywhere, but still, like you said, this is a team before this 7-game losing streak ripped off a 6-game winning streak. So, like, those games that are going their way before are just going the other way now.
And you bring up Andy. He's been around the program, but there's a difference between sitting next to the guy that's making that final call and making that decision. And I'm sure he's got to adjust a little of, oh my gosh, what am I going to do in this situation? There's a little bit of that for him. And, you don't want to make excuses, but I think this is something that when he continues his coaching career and the more games he's in, he's going to be able to dial stuff up and say, hey, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. And he's going to have a little more confidence. His team's going to have a little more confidence, and maybe those will translate into victories.
Definitely, like you said, he's been happy with the effort from his guys, but just a little bit more on the execution side, and they might be coming out on the winning side in some of these close contests. And now looking at the girls here, the women, they've been kind of ripping off win one week, lose the next, win one week, lose the next. So what do they need to do to kind of get over that hump there and start putting together a string of wins?
I think they need a little more balance offensively. Mm-hmm. If you look at it, they're really getting like a Sarah Deshone will score 20 something, and then it's like a little fill in of everybody else.
Yeah.
I would like to see a little more balance. You know, it's nice to have someone that's going to get you 20 points, and Sarah Deshones can do that almost
Yeah,
any
she's a heck of
night.
a player, yeah.
But you know, they need that supporting cast to kind of step up their game right now. And if that comes along, I think you're going to see them rip off a long winning streak.
Definitely, like you said, kind of a young team there. They've been kind of working some different pieces in here with some injuries and some things with the rotation. But yeah, you know, Sarah will get her points, but I do think right now they're trying to find some of those role players that are going to come in and do the things like go hit the boards and stuff. And also you've had Branch, who's been missing a few games here, and she was a big part for them grabbing down rebounds and hitting low.
When I saw her last year, she was just so instrumental in doing that. You know, they start doubling her, they kick it back out, and you know they can hit the three. If you don't have that, you know, that person in there that's going to draw people, it's harder all the way around.
Definitely, yeah. If they get that inside-out game going, I think there could be some big numbers for that offense.
Absolutely.
Definitely. Alrighty, sports fans, that wraps up another weekly edition of our sports preview show. Want to thank you for tuning in, and as always, you can log on to BigRapidsNews.com, or you can pick up an edition of the Pioneer every day to find the local and state sports news.